get access to it. Let's just check we're live. As always, if you're watching, you know that we like to play on our phones as we come live. No, we're just checking that we're live, guys. Yes, we're live. Awesome.
Marvelous.
Okay, right then, yeah. Hey, everyone. Andy here and Dave. I was going to say then from another episode of Mountain Malarkey podcast, but our Tuesday tune-in Q&A. I believe this is our 14th or 15th week, Dave, which is actually crazy.
Is that how long it's gone?
Yeah.
No. When you said that, I think, yesterday, and I was like, 50. I got to stop doing this because I'm in the office today, so I'm like moving away.
I'm jealous. You're back in.
But 15 weeks, man. 15 episodes. Amazing.
I know. It's mad, isn't it? I know. I probably cheated a little bit because we did 3 in 1 week. That 1 week, but yeah. Hey Amanda, and hey everyone else who's joined. Say hello if you've joined us, and as you're on the live as well, don't forget to give us a little thumbs up as well, just to say hello. So today then is, as always with our lives, we it's a Q&A element to it. Today we kind of thought about something we haven't touched on yet, really, even though we sorry, I always get distracted by Brian. He always puts little funny ones in there. Hey Brian, how you doing, mate? So we haven't discussed down jackets, and it's one of the kind of big ones we get asked. Before going on a trip to Everest Base Camp, Kili. Even if you're climbing a 6,000 meter peak, you get asked, what jacket do I need? And so we were like, okay, we'll do that today. We'll go into a few things about the different types of jackets, the different fill types as well, because not all jackets are the same.
Yeah.
Also, there's different sort of levels, so you can get, they call it like the fill power, which is like pretty much how much down or how much synthetic material goes into the jacket. And also as well, like particular makes, like, again, if you followed us before, you know that Dave has pretty much all the equipment you can think of. Although I
was shopping
when it comes to
I said I was shopping as the live began for a down jacket, even though I already have a couple, but you can never have too many. Hey, Byron's on. I know Byron's on, so we better say nice things about the Rab. I think nuclear or the Rab Electron or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey guys, Chris, Phil, Tina, Dave, and Asher and Paul. There's 2 minutes. Okay, everyone's joining now. Happy days.
Yeah.
Right then. So our social reality is actually off today, so we'll be trying to, go through the comments. We have worked out a way. We're trying to see them as well, so we'll be, if we're a bit slower on the responding side, we'll get back to you guys as soon as we can. But we've got our phones on as well. All right, Dave, we'll get stuck into it. Down jackets. Where do we start? Where should we start?
They're expensive, necessary. I think the main thing that I'm gonna stop holding that one. It's not time yet. The main thing about down jackets is on every one of our trips you're gonna need it. I've gone on trips before where I wore it once the entire time, and then I've gone on trips where I've wore it every single day, even from day one. In fact, last October when I was in Everest Base Camp, it was one of those where, in facting, it was like well below zero. It was freezing all the way up. So I was really happy to have my down jacket with me. And also, it's a great pillow, but
it's really underestimated. It's a great pillow.
Yeah, but they're also, they're remarkably complicated, because there's all different types of fill. The down that goes in them obviously comes from the goose down that they get stuff with, which obviously gives it loft, and it traps warm air in that loft and keeps you warm. So the loftier and bigger the jacket tends to be the most warm. But then more recently, in recent times, you get in jackets that have got really clever technology in them, so you don't have to look like the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man to be warm. But certainly, it does help. We did Kilimanjaro in February, and I wore my loftiest jacket for the summit approach on that one. But also Chris said washing them is a nightmare. You wash your jacket? I don't think I've ever washed my down. I might wipe down the outside of it.
You can get them washed. I actually sent mine back to Rab once. I got a jacket, and Dave, I know you've had the same jacket as this. I think it was called the Rab Infinity endurance.
It's the basically Byron has just got the newer version of it.
A newer version
it used to be called the Rab Infinity Pro Endurance with hydrophobic down. So even if the down got soaked, it would still retain heat and stuff like that.
Definitely. Does Rab. Yeah, hey guys, just say hello to someone, Paula, Claire, Chris again, Jerome, Ian, Darren. Awesome. Good to see you, Darren. So with Rab, basically I had a bit of a tear in the back. So I had basically sent it back to Rab. It cost, I think it was about 30 or 40 pounds. And they put more fill back in and they washed it at the same time. So I was like, happy days. One thing I remembered as well, because I know that obviously we're saying hello here, we're talking about jackets. Questions? Any questions you've got about jackets, do comment.
Yeah.
Anything around jackets, anything at all really, because I know that it's not necessarily all about jackets. We can answer any questions. So fire away.
Chris has just said that he got baby sick on his, so not washing it was not an option. Yeah, totally agree with you, mate. I haven't got baby sick on mine. I've got my own sick on mine a couple of times, but it's familiar, so it doesn't bother me. But
I like. I'll bring Stuart's actually. Stuart Pinchbeck. Very good question. I think good place to start as well. So, it depends. Like Dave, you've got a jacket there. I mean, I've got a bunch of jackets here. We'll pull out.
I mean,
when you still want that one like that, don't you?
Yeah, when not in use, my own personal jackets that I've spent a lot of money on, I tend to store on the hanger. So take them out of the stuff sack and store them on the hanger as normal. And then they'll only look like this pretty much when I'm carrying it around. The reason why is because I don't like the idea that it's constantly compressed. When you let it sort of expand, its loftiness fills and stuff like that, and it just stays in better condition. I agree. This one actually is, I believe it's the best one money can buy.
I can see why you're gonna.
It's certainly got the most space age technology in it. Elon Musk makes these, but it's the EverTrek branded down jacket. So. No, in all seriousness, these are good jackets. The brand is EverTrek. The make is EverTrek.
Get a call from James, Mr. Wright. Look at that on the line.
Is he not watching the live?
I know. I can believe it. He came to.
So this is the one. If you booked a trip with us and you have selected to use one of our jackets, this is what you'll get given. If you booked a trip in Nepal, that is.
That's in Nepal.
So nothing too special about it, but you can already see that it's this is unfortunately a small, so it lives in the back of my van, but I never get to wear it.
Demonstration purposes, Dave.
Well, exactly. This I believe is just like this is down filled, and it's got like the I like this, on a down jacket. It's called and the technical hood, So
hey, Michelle, how you doing?
It's around your face. So that's a really good jacket. I do think that, to be honest, the older I'm getting, I think softer I'm getting. So I've started using more Patagonia jackets, largely because they use like sustainably sourced materials to make them. Now, obviously, it's up to everyone. I'm not preaching. I still own normal down jackets. But, the older I get, the more I'm thinking that the only thing that in the world that needs to be covered in goose feathers is a goose. And
very good point. Very good point. I've got one of those jackets, Dave.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's a nice segue into the.
I thought I may try and do it, but no. I've got the. This is the Patagonia. They call it the down sweater hoodie. So if you give that a little Google, I might drop it in the comments. But I highly recommend this one. This one actually will be available to buy soon from our website. So do keep an eye out for that. You'll be able to get this jacket branded and available. But again, that's not a pitch. This one is, I've worn this because I would say, Dave, this is kind of on the mid-range of jackets, isn't it? In terms of fitness.
Mid-range,
It's only got about 650, 700 on the fill range. When you're talking a thicker jacket, which is, this is the Rab I talked about earlier. This is like 750, 800 fill. Wore this on the summit of Kili. Wore this to base camp. Probably I've taken this 3 or 4 times now. And this is, because you've got sort of intermediate jackets, which the Patagonia down sweater hoodie is.
Yeah.
But it, with regards to if you're wearing layers underneath, you can get away with that if you're wearing it to Everest Base Camp or Kili. Do you think, Dave, or would you prefer to have a bigger one?
It's one of those ones where a lot of it, because it is a mid-range, it's sort of maybe equivalent to the EverTrekker jacket and maybe the Rab Microlight, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Now, whether that jacket is warm enough for you really depends on how hot or cold you run, generally speaking. You can get like a really hefty, I use the mountain equipment light line. I would say that's warm enough for basically anybody. But when it comes to the mid-range, it does depend on what your comfort level is.
Yeah.
I would say I mean, I would have rathered something warmer than that on Kilimanjaro. Yeah. Because it was freezing. And even with that big down jacket I had on, I had to have like a fleece and...
You still felt the cold, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't normally feel the cold. So that's why I would say that I run quite warm. And if I found it cold, I would say if you've got the lighter jacket, probably going to need something heavier, I think, for going. Probably fine for base camp. Yeah. Probably fine for Machu Picchu. You might get away with Tupcal, depending on the time of year you go. For Kilimanjaro, particularly if you're going in colder times, it gets, you're nearly 6,000 meters. For other 6,000 meter peaks in the Himalaya, you're almost certainly definitely going to need a heavier, at least an 850. With regards to synthetic or regular down, to be honest, most of the people tend to say that the full proper down is good. But like I said, there are other makes. If that, if you feel a bit unhappy about it, you can look at makes like Patagonia. I think even North Face do a sustainably sourced one now.
Yeah, they have. They've introduced them.
Or you can go like full synthetic, or you can do partway synthetic. So what that means is it has the goose down in it, but it also has synthetic down, which will most likely be water resistant to some degree, which is why they put the mix in. Rab are really good at doing that. They have lots of their Pertex lining and what they call hydrophobic down, which is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Some great to see some comments coming through and some regulars on here as well. Dave Town, always in here. Lewis Quinn, even Michelle Squire, she's on here. Hey, Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Jerome, Chris, some good questions as well. This is a good one. I think it's from Helen Barker, actually, in terms of down or synthetic filling for Kili March. I think Dave touched on it a little bit there, but again, with regards to down or synthetic, it's one of those. If you type that into Google, there'd be 100 different opinions, whether synthetic's better or down's better. In my personal opinion, I always prefer down. I think there's a reason why that was used initially, because it is better. But when you're thinking on the sustainable down, or even moving away completely from down, because there are some really good vegan jackets out there, which I know some of our EverTrekkers, I believe Diane Fazakli, who's over, I don't know if she's on the live today, but she's got a really good sort of down jacket. I'll have to ask her what it is. But there are some great ones out there. And this is in terms of the technology now. So down has been around since Mallory and that sort of era, and then I think it got to like 60s and 70s, and they were like, right, we need something that's a lot better than just tweed. Which is why they came with using goose feathers and duck feathers. And I think when it comes to synthetic, they realized, okay, it's great, but it's nowhere near the insulation properties of down. So it is moving on a little bit. I think if you're going to stick with Rab, Berghaus, you're looking at Patagonia, any of those jackets, they're good quality jackets, whether it's down or synthetic.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I was going to say, just finish off. If you do have any particular jackets, Helen, that you kind of want our advice, if you want, just send us a little message. If you go onto our website, you got a little messenger bot there. Just drop a little message there, or email us info@evertrek.co.uk. If you've got any specific jackets you want our opinion on, then do message, and we can let you know.
Yeah,
go for it, Dave.
So just a couple of ones I wanted to touch on. Dave Rimington said down jackets good enough for heavy rain.
Yeah, good question. Yeah.
No. No, you should always like some jackets are what like I said, hydrophobic down, which means that if you get caught out in one, it's not going to destroy the jacket and cause clumping, because that's what happens when down gets wet. It clumps together and you get like pockets of it rather than an even distribution, which means you'll get cold bits and it won't do its job of holding the heat. Hydrophobic down is designed to sort of keep your jacket working if you get caught out. If it starts raining, generally speaking, I will either try, and if it's freezing cold, I'll try and put a Gore-Tex waterproof jacket over my down jacket.
Yeah.
Or I'll just take the down off completely and just stick with waterproof. It might take, I mean, in the UK you might get it, but generally speaking, I'm thinking if you're out in Nepal or Tanzania or Peru, if it's raining, it tends to be warmer, you know, so you won't need a down jacket if it's raining. If it's freezing cold, you tend to be very high up and you might get snow or something like that. Snow probably okay because it just sort of falls off and doesn't sort of drench you. But yeah, hopefully that helps.
Nice. Yeah, Sinead joined in perfectly there for, you know, Gore-Tex for waterproof, down for warmth. And I think you're right there. Yeah, when it comes to water-resistant jackets, down jackets just don't cut the mustard, do they? Unfortunately, I think they haven't quite got it there yet with regards to making it waterproof and warm from a down perspective. Anyway, but good to see some other regulars as well. Doug Smith, good old Spud.
Old Spud. Yeah, Chris, you could talk about whatever you want, mate. This is we just get the ball rolling with a subject. Or anything else, shoot. But fleece and a down on one or the other. Again, there are no rules. You know, you can do whatever you want to stay warm. When we climbed Kilimanjaro, I had an insulated base layer, I had a fleece, I had a down jacket, and I had my Gore-Tex jacket, and I wore them all at one point. The only thing I would say, if we're talking about waterproofs, if we've just kind of nipped onto that for a second, when I was going up Kilimanjaro, I had because the wind was so strong and it was blasting your ears, you had to have a hood or something over your head. When you're wearing a waterproof jacket like a Gore-Tex, the noise from the jacket itself can be like unbearable. It's like a rustling in your ears and it can go on for hours, you know. So what I'll tend to do is get the one that you like best is a Rab, can't remember the name now, so I think it's called the AI jacket or the Nucleus. Anyway, it's a Rab fleece with a zip right up the front and a fitted hood.
Yeah, it's called the Al Pull-On, I think it's called.
The Pull-On, no.
Al Pull-On,
yeah, that's a really good one. Basically, I'll have that on under the jacket. They're not the warmest, to be fair. Like that fleece Andy's got on is the one that I wore to the summit of Kilimanjaro. Not that exact one, but one like it.
This wouldn't fit you. This is, I think it's the Polar Tech 200. So in terms of thickness, you've got with North Face, they have like the 100, 200, 300. This is only the 2, but you know, again, it depends. I mean, it was perfect for me. I think I had a decent base layer. You know, I always use icebreaker base layers, a mid-layer fleece, and then a jacket. And it was the first time actually just talking about Kili. You know, while we're talking about that, Dave, is the fact is that normally I don't wear a down jacket when I'm walking. Normally I'll wear a waterproof, you know, or Gore-Tex jacket. If it gets really cold, then I'll chuck this underneath, and then for Kili, because it was really windy, I actually put the if I can remember right, I put the down jacket over my waterproof, which I never do. But you know, it does get cold.
But as Doug knows, because Doug was with us as well, Doug Smith, it was really cold our summit night on the way up to Kili.
Yeah.
Like you were just about okay when you were walking, but whenever we stopped for a drink, you just like the cold just got into you. But yeah, I think layers is probably the most key because it never, although we're talking about down jackets and fleeces and stuff like that, your overall sort of performance on the hill and how comfortable you are doesn't come down to just one garment. You know, it's about layering up for the task, and layering is key. So on any trip, I'm terrible for it. You know, I'll be stopping and putting my jacket on and off like all the time. You know, on the way up to Kili, I take the down off, I put it on, I take it off and put it on. But that's the beauty of layering. If you pick one item that you have to wear for the whole time, you can be very uncomfortable, either too cold or too hot for a long period of time with no way to fix it. Layering is key. And also layering, so like your base layer, that should be like almost skin tight, because any sweat then that's on your skin will just be taken straight through off the skin and then will be, evaporated. But layer. I think we've done a blog about layering, haven't we?
We certainly have, yeah. I think it was what we will do. I mean, normally, I say we got the Social Yeti posting for us. We'll put the link for that article. We'll put it in the comments, so just so you can get used to that. I'm just going through some of the questions from top to bottom here. I know Dave Town asked about the Rab Kinetic Alpine jacket. I have to be honest, I've never used that jacket, but I did a little bit of research then. I would say from a jacket perspective, it's probably not thick enough for base camp. I would be looking at something because I think that's looking at the price range, about £200. It's a decent amount to spend on a jacket there, Dave. So if I were you, you do have the Microlight Alpine, which is probably a little bit less, actually. I'd say about 160, 170 quid, which would probably be better than that. I know a couple of EverTrekkers who have worn that to base camp. You could also look at, it is a little bit more, but you've got the Rab, I think it's called the Positron, which is a bit thicker. Definitely I'd say more of the intermediate to heavy range, because what you've got to think of is that with regards to these jackets, you don't want to get them just to use for one trip. The one thing I found is that the Rab, luckily I spent almost 400 quid on it about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's lasted. But the thing is, I only use it like in depths of winter. I have another one, which is the Patagonia one, which is more versatile, so you can wear it in the spring and the autumn evenings. So think about that. If you're going to spend a couple of £100 on a jacket, rather than just getting the absolute beast just for base camp, get something like the Patagonia down sweater hoodie or the Rab Microlight Alpine. They're a bit more an intermediate jacket, fine for base camp, and then you can use them then with your evenings in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's always something to sort of think about there. But Dave, that Rab Kinetic Alpine jacket, probably good enough for maybe the UK, but I wouldn't use that for base camp, just personally, my opinion on that.
Yeah.
So what you think about it, Dave?
Clear Cars brought up a couple of good things, which I think I can link it to jackets. Let's do it. Basically, she's been hill walking, and basically her phone battery is cut out because of cold. Now, a couple of things about that. One, that's never happened to me. I know that cold does sap the life out of batteries, but I've never had something stop working because of it.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, I've got a Hawaii. It's never once stopped working. But what I did do was I'll put it in a pocket within my down jacket and just leave it there. Don't have it in your trouser pocket or in your bag or anything like that. There are loads of people that do it loads of different ways. Some people put it in a sock, but most down jackets will have like an interior pocket. And if you put it in there, it's going to be the same temperature as your body. So it should never get so cold that it doesn't stop working. There are also cases and things like that you can get that'll keep it warm and things like that. But to be honest, if you go in to Kilimanjaro and you've got a down jacket, almost certainly it's got an inside pocket. Put it in there and keep it close to your body, and that'll be all you need, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I put that one up there because Claire asked that question a bit earlier as well. Sorry, Claire, we're trying to catch all the questions here, and if any of you have asked any questions and we don't sort of pick it up, we will go back through and respond. But Claire, you mentioned there about the best ladies down jacket for Kili. Again, there's loads out there. I mean, whenever we're talking about the Microlight Alpine, the Positron, the Patagonia down sweater hoodie, they all come in obviously female sizes. Some of them are a bit sort of tapered, a bit different kind of shape, but there are ladies' versions of them. And I think if you go to Kili, I know Dave, you have the Light line.
Yes.
It has a female version, which is brilliant, as well as the Rab Positron. I think you won't go far wrong with those two.
So I use the mountain equipment Light line jacket.
Yeah.
And it was huge, big puffer thing. It was awesome though. It was brilliant. It was perfect for me on Kilimanjaro, and I was there when it was pretty cold as well, because there was no sun coming through. We had the best sunrise you could ever wish for, followed immediately by cloud.
I know, it was literally 2 minutes of heaven, wasn't it? And then it was all right. Okay, we're freezing again.
I'll never forget though. The best was I always take a bit of whiskey with us to have a little celebration. It's the Scottish side of me, loves that. And it's so warming and nice. And I remember we were all sharing this whiskey, and Andy pulls out his hip flask, hands it to Doug, and says, "Get some of that down, you Doug." Now, I should say that Doug is a born and bred Highlander. He's the most. He is Scottish.
Great guy.
Awesome Scotch whiskey is like manna from heaven. And I just see him like pour it back, open his mouth, and nothing comes out. And he's
it was empty.
Yeah, and he handed him an empty.
I carried that the whole way up, and I realised, silly, didn't fill it at the bottom, but it's just quite weighty. It felt like something was in there.
Well, that was another thing. Yeah, it was also shaped like it was also shaped like a shotgun shell that customs at Kilimanjaro airport found.
They didn't like that too much, did they? But luckily, they let me keep it once I explained that it wasn't a shotgun shell. It was a hip flask. I'm just going through now. There's some really good ones on here, actually. I think if someone's asked, where is it? Let's have a little look. Someone did ask. I'm just trying to find it, but you mentioned that the EverTrek jacket, the ones that you've got, the one you got there, Dave, is it good enough for EBC? I think it's from Monica. Hey, Monica.
Yeah, I hope it is, because we give them to people to go there. Yes, it is good enough for EBC.
There we go.
When we go to base camp, although you can get really cold temperatures and stuff like that, this jacket combined with a fleece underneath, hat, gloves, buff, is perfectly fine. There are the main difference really, because there's no excuse to be too cold. If you go into the high Himalaya, there's no excuse to be cold at all, really, regardless of what jacket you've got, because you can always layer up. This is why I don't like, say, one jacket that's good enough for everything, including like the summit of Everest, because if you have that jacket, you will most likely be too hot when you're walking and using it. And if that's all you've got on to keep you warm, you're going to be stuck. So when you take it off, you'll be too cold. When you put it on, you'll be too warm.
Yeah.
A jacket like this with a fleece and stuff like that will be warm enough for the coldest temperatures you're likely to experience. The one thing we will say is it is adventure travel. So you're going to get cold, and you're going to get hot, and you're going to get wet, and you might even get sunburned. I did. That's
and me.
I got sunburn on my first 3 days of Everest base camp, and then I had sunburn followed by like -10.
It is like that, isn't it? Because the days and the nights. I mean, it's like in the UK, isn't it? The weather can change, on a click of the hand. And next thing, it's good to be prepared for all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
While squeezing it into the duffel bag. Miko's put obviously, Monica. I hope that answers your question with that jacket. And Miko has mentioned, are they suitable for 6,000 meter peaks? I'd say with regards to going to 6,000 meter peaks, it's a little bit of a different beast.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at you need a serious jacket there with with something that can cater, because the weather can come in and you're isolated on a 6,000 meter peak. So yeah, there's certainly jackets out there. I mean, we've got some we can hire in Nepal that aren't the branded ones. They're more suited for for being there. Price range in terms of the a 6,000 meter peak, you're looking at, it's definitely more. I think you're talking £400 to £800.
Yeah.
If you're going higher as well, you've got your down suits, which are more for 8,000 meter peaks, but I've seen people use them on Island Peak. So it depends on your budget for those. But yeah, with the EverTrek down jackets, they I wouldn't kind of recommend them. You could wear them up to, say, you'd probably get away with it going all the way to advanced base camp on high camp. I say advanced like we're on Everest. High camp on Island Peak, which about 800-900 meters lower than the summit. But if you're on the summit and you get caught out, that's where you need the thicker jacket. So you may as well get a bigger jacket, Nico. So yeah. I hope that answers your question. Price range for our jackets is in the EverTrek down jackets. Again, the ones that we're going to be selling will be sort of £150, £200, that sort of range for the branded ones. So yeah, keep a lookout for that.
Yeah.
Just going down as well. Now, as we while we're on here, I know we're going through the questions. We recorded another episode of the podcast the other day, Dave, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, so finally we're getting Mountain Malarkey podcast back up and running. It's been a little bit difficult to do it whilst we've been, separated and isolated. But so that's what this is. This was the replacement for the Mountain Malarkey. Now we're going to do both. Yeah. So yeah.
It's a lot easier when we're together, isn't it? I know that we did a social distancing recording session, wasn't it? Which worked out quite well. And
yeah.
So in a couple of days. So yeah, do keep a lookout for that. We're posted on here as well as the email list. So we'll let you know. It's a good one as well.
Yeah.
Something we realised that even though I know obviously you're all on here, but we had quite a lot of messages with people saying that I'm not on Facebook. Can I listen to this and things? So what we've done, if you can't stay on for the whole live, you can rewatch it. We've also put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can you can watch it to your heart's content, pause, and go from there. Watch it like it's Netflix or Trekflix, as we kind of like to call it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We need to call it that, Dave.
Trekflix. Change it to Trekflix. But I keep getting distracted by something that Dave Remington has written here.
I knew you were going to talk about that, which is why my mouse was hovering over it then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because so yeah, what is the score if you need to take a whiz or a dump on the route? Asking for a family member. Well, Dave, tell your family member that. Do you know what? It's not as common as you might think unless you've got a bit of a stomach bug, because you do pass through fairly regular areas where there are toilets provided, or there are like lodges and stuff that you can dive in and use. Lots of the people that live in those areas have anticipated your problem, and there'll be a little like toilet there. Now, have you seen Train Spotting? You know that bit when he goes in? That's the sort of level you want to be thinking about. But you put a couple of rupees in and use the toilet. So actually, it's not that often you're going to get caught out. If you are in a situation where you buy a rock and you have to kind of go right there and then, my personal thing, and it's something you don't talk about, is that yes, if you can have like a day sack or something like that, and you are willing to sort of like sacrifice it, put the stuff in there and get rid of it, and that's fine. Wherever possible, we try to leave as little of our crap on the mountain.
Nicely put, Dave.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone's gonna kick up too much of a fuss if you've got a stomach bug and you have to dive off and go to the toilet, and you don't want to carry the paper back with you. But if you can, great.
Yeah, you've got to go. You've got to go. It's remember where you are as well. I mean, yeah, Dave. I think Dave. Dave Remington. Dave was saying then that it's very rare because there's quite a lot of villages you walk through. I have to be honest. Both myself and Dave and some of our EverTrekkers we know very well have all had to do a wildie, which is literally behind a rock, and it is what it is. You've got to do it. One thing we have introduced, we've put some sort of little bags actually in each. So when you get your duffel bag when you arrive in Nepal, what we've done is that we've spoken to Anuj, who's our sort of Nepalese ops manager, and we're now putting bags in so you can literally carry it down with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Extra warmth, I'd probably say, don't forget, I know you want to be, the inner Bear Grylls is saying, hold that to keep me warm. I'd probably put on an extra pair of gloves instead of carry that stuff next to me, just me.
Yeah.
But it's up to you. It's up to you, Dave. Well,
we don't want to give you all the answers. Some of the stuff is fun for you to work out. But on Kilimanjaro as well, we do provide toilet tents as well.
Yes.
So that's all taken care of.
Sit down toilet tents.
Exactly, sit down toilet tents, and it's all getting disposed of properly off mountain. So yeah, that's good. But
Colin makes a good point there. He's gonna buy one anyway. He just wants an EverTrek one. No, we are putting the shop together. It's quite interesting. Basically, if you booked a trip with us already, you'll see that the booking area. So when you book in, and if you booked on for your second or third trip, you'll see that it's very different to how it used to be. We spend a lot of time developing that. We've got a great team who's sort of working out the kinks. Things do take time. Ideally, we would have had it up and running by literally March, but as you can imagine, there was things that we had to focus on instead. But we're not far away, Chris. With regards to being able to do that, it's a matter of weeks now. In the interim, I'm sure we can work out a way of getting you one, mate. But I'll pick that up with you separately. But yeah, not long. I want our little store open as soon as we can. We want to make sure it's right, because last thing we want to do is release it out there and there's delays and it's not quite working. It's not quite streamlined. So we want to make sure that all the bugs and kinks are worked out first.
Exactly. Yeah. Bruce Bentley has brought up an interesting one that he's bought the Montane synthetic fill jacket with EBC in mind. I think
you've got one of those, Dave, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I have got one. Yeah. Can't remember the name of it now, but no, I wore it to EBC and I found it not to be as warm as my Rab, but totally fine. You know, that was actually when we went to EBC last April. I brought 2 jackets with me.
Yeah.
My Rab and my Montane. And my Montane was brand new, so I was looking forward to trialing it out. And one of the other members of the trip didn't have a down jacket and was struggling to find one to fit. So I gave her my Rab and I just used the Montane for the whole trip, and it was totally fine. That was a little bit of a cold one. We had snow and everything, didn't we? So
it was very cold.
To be honest, depending on which one it is, but I'm pretty sure that we've got the same jacket based on
the Quattro. Just looking here, just have a little Google. I think it's the Quattro or something like that. Because Max had the same one, right?
Yeah,
he did. Yeah,
sorry.
I think
Max.
The
only difference was Max's was like bright orange.
Yeah, which was we could see him from a mile away.
Good question here. Jerome has said, to expand on Dave Rimington's point, what do EverTrek do to support the environmental impact of waste?
Great question. I like that.
Yeah, well, we love that one because Icarus, that's it. Yeah, that's the jacket. To be honest, we do quite a lot. Now,
yes,
it's hard to know where to begin. The first thing that we did, going back right the way to the beginning of 2019,
February, March time, wasn't it?
Yeah, we used to use, well, as is common practice, and still to this day, common practice on the mountain, there's 2 ways you get your drinking water. You buy it, which means bottled water, plastic, waste, or you use chlorine tablets in the water and stuff like that. Both of those are not ideal. Chlorine tastes foul. It can upset your stomach and it can give you heartburn. So we tended to see a trend of people wanting not to wait the 15 minutes for the chlorine, not enjoying the taste, so they did bottled water. But we've actually introduced now these purification filters. So on every one of our trips now, you will use a purification filter to get your water from a local source. So normally that's like glacial or a spring or somewhere like that. And what happens then is that water is passed through the filtration filter, the purification filter, and it's completely safe to drink. Both myself and Andy trialed it out, and it was brilliant. The water tastes great, no stomachs, and it reduces the amount of bottles. And there is a statistic, and do you remember it? How much?
Yes, I do. I kind of worked it out. So the first season we put it out, which was basically March, April, and May last year, we kind of realized that we kind of worked out what normal practice would have been. So how many plastic bottles would have been used per day per person. Over the course of those 3 months, we actually saved, I think it was 16,500 plastic bottles, which if you stack them on top of each other was actually 5 times the height of Ben Nevis.
Yeah,
that was just in one season, and now we'll be coming into our 4th season now of using these. Yeah. So it's made a massive difference. I mean, we're super proud of that, and amongst the other things as well. I mean, Dave, I know you mentioned the plastic bottles there. We've also, Jerome, I know you mentioned that. I kind of want to take this head on because I've seen this before with regards to, you mentioned you've commented there about general rubbish or EBC. But it's quite frustrating in a way sometimes because we do see, especially in the UK, there's a lot of almost negative press around the rubbish at EBC. Now, been there many times, and it's very, very clean place. It's different depending on the time of year you go. Like in the spring, you've got the climbers there. I'd probably say, and unfortunately this is the case, there's more rubbish on the mountain than at Everest Base Camp. Everest Base Camp's a glacier, so you've got sort of 9 months of the year there's nothing there except ice. It's a very clean place. One of the cleanest places I've ever been to, in fact. So it's and again, I don't want to sort of knock you down there because we get this asked a lot, and it's a very good point. But most of the time, it is just that we do see a lot of media out there about this, that there's rubbish at Everest, and it's more on the mountain, which is a shame. It's just because of the height, and when things get left down there. I know they're putting things in practice for summit. For summit teams to actually bring down, but when it comes to get into Everest Base Camp, it's very, very clean.
Exactly.
It's probably, I've seen a lot worse, unfortunately, in the UK.
Yeah.
You know, but we're very passionate about how clean and how keeping it that way.
Yeah.
On the trips, you know.
One of the other things to mention as well is that our guides, we utilize local guides and local expertise. So all of the staff that we use, everyone that is providing you the experience and the to go to EBC, they are all local and from the area and have a love and a passion for the mountains. So you'll see those guys picking it up. We always encourage everyone else to follow suit if you see something. But with regards to picking up and taking back with you, there's a project. It's not our initiative, but it's one that we support called Sagarmatha Next, and it's called the Carry Me Back campaign. Now, when you're in Namche on the way back, you'll see this big area that they've put aside, and they've got these little like foil bags, which is basically where they've collected and processed the rubbish, into these little foil bags, and you can clip 1 or you can clip 50. It's however many you want to like clip to your bag and yourself. And you'll see people carrying them back. And basically, they're taking all that rubbish down from the mountain to Lukla, where it can be destroyed. So we always encourage everybody to do that as well.
Exactly.
What else are we doing? Carbon offset, planting trees, you know? So
yeah. I know we're kind of we're getting into it now. We do need. It's kind of mad. I know we talked about it before about the different sort of environment things we've done. About 2 weeks ago, we joined an initiative called Declare a Climate Emergency. Basically, it's quite a lot of travel companies from the UK and abroad have come together to basically create a plan, basically to almost be carbon neutral, if you like, and almost a commitment to doing more. So we were, we've kind of done that. We declared a climate emergency because we realised that there's always stuff that we can do more. Our relationship with Mossy Earth. So Mossy Earth, if you give them a little Google, they're a sustainable project basically around rewilding. So pretty much everyone that books with us, it means that for every person that books, we do plant a tree to carbon offset, against you coming on our trips. We've done that. I mean, I haven't worked out a number yet, but we're going to be quite big with regards to the number of trees we planted. But we're working with them to actually do that. So quite excited about that going forward because we want to make more of an impact. You know, we're not perfect by any means, and in our personal lives and traveling, we can always do more, and we will, 100%. And, like I said, we've got 12 months now to put this project together, and we're quite looking forward to working with these other travel companies whilst doing that. Trying to get more travel companies involved because the more we can do, for the environment, it's still going to be there, 20, 30 years down the line. So that's the important thing, really.
If someone has a look at the comments, they'll see that I've magically, seamlessly, without anyone noticing.
Very good, Dave. Very good.
But yeah, all good. And also, Chris Collins has said he wonders if it's the north side. You're dead right. Yeah, it is the north side that's causing it. It's as simple as that. So the difference is basically that in China, Tibet, you can drive to base camp. They built a road, and it attracts a different type of tourist. When we go to Nepal, there's only one way to get a base camp. You've got to walk, and that attracts a different type of mindset where people are actually interested in the environment and the experience of trekking. The other side of it is more like, I'm just going to go and drive and see Everest. And you will see like more rubbish and stuff like that. But Everest and Everest Base Camp is actually cleaner than it ever has been because of the climate initiatives that are coming out. So it is really good.
I'm just going to bring up this comment from Tony as well, because whilst we're on the live, just to remind everyone, I know Tony's obviously got himself involved. About a week ago, we launched the Kilimanjaro competition. So we've launched, what was it? Probably about 6 months ago, we actually launched Kili. Had some great EverTrekkers reach the summit of Kili, and we thought, right, let's take 2 people for free on another trip to Kilimanjaro. So get yourself involved. We'll put the link in the comments, just so you can get yourself in there. Dave, if you can drop it in, mate, that'd be wicked. Seamlessly now, as you do it. But get yourself involved because for yourself and a friend, we're offering those 2 spaces for free. And there are some good runner-up prizes as well. We've done previous competitions before, but just a little bit different. with that. So yeah, definitely get yourself involved if you're looking to get to Kili. It's actually mad. We've had over like almost 8,000 people register so far in a week, which is mad. So I can see there's a lot of people that want to go to Kili. So yeah, get yourself in that competition, and it's really good. I mean, the more times you share it, it's a prize draw, so you basically get your name in a hat. The more times you share it, then you get more names in the hat. So yeah, definitely get involved. Obviously, Tony, I can see, has been involved. Something else as well, that before the live, me and Dave had a chat, and I had a chat with almost how would we label Jen? I know she's the blonde Yeti, but she looks after pretty much a lot of different aspects of EverTrek, and we were discussing we are looking to bring on some new Yetis, some new staff over the next sort of few weeks. So we know that we've got a great community, so we'll be putting it out to our EverTrekkers anyway, because we're looking for a couple of people to join the team. If you are interested to get the application, just put if you comment new Yeti, we'll send you the application and we'll go from there. Because if you're keen to join the team, we'd love to have you. Especially if you're part of the community, you know what we're all about, and you want to join myself, Dave, and the rest of the team. Definitely put your name in the hat. We'll be putting it all out over social media anyway, and different channels. But yeah, if you're keen to join myself, Dave, and the other Yetis, then yeah, just like I said, comment new Yeti, and we'll personally send you the application. All right. Right, we got a few more questions, Dave, haven't we? I know we've.
Wait a minute. Shane Ryan has said, "Have I missed all the jacket talk?" No. Welcome to the EverTrekker Tuesday tune-in with myself and Andy.
Hey Shane.
No, mate. Quick, fire away. Have a question, ask it. Chris, no chance of winning. That's not strictly true, mate. The more times you enter, the more chance you get given. And it's completely free if you do it via the link. I think if you send a text message, it might cost a little bit, but I guarantee you that about 10,000 text messages probably cost less than the cost of a trip to Kili. So I haven't done the maths, right? So don't quote me. That was just a throwaway statement. But
no, very good, David. Let's have a look at any information. Issuing visas, Bruce. I'll bring this up anyway because I know we always start off talking about different things, and we go off topic. I know we talked about the environment quite a lot on this call, but you've mentioned about Nepalese government starting to issue trekking visas again. There's a couple of things. Look, if you've already got your visas, depending on if it's delayed, I believe Nepal are allowing you to extend that or reuse them, Dave. I know you've been heavily speaking with Anuj, but yeah, it won't be long. And they will be, they will be issuing those visas. If you do, you can get it when you arrive. You don't have to do it, when beforehand. Yeah. Every time I've gone to Nepal, I've actually just done it when I arrive. It's quite simple. Sometimes takes an hour, but you can get an arrival visa. For your trip. But Dave, I know you've, we've done visas like when we've gone to say Kili, Tanzania, other countries. You can get it before. There is an embassy in London. It's always I'd always say if you're going to go out there, and we've had a lot of customers who are rescheduled from the spring to the autumn and go into next year, and all things are go at the moment regarding the autumn. We're super excited. There obviously might be some sort of slight changes to make sure that we adhere to social distancing, but we're really excited about the autumn and our other trips around about that time as well. But yeah, Bruce, we'll definitely keep you updated. We do have, I will share, Dave, we've got a COVID-19 page on our website, haven't we, which we update when we get new updates. So what we do is we'll put the link at the bottom. If you do are up for any updates, go on that page, because that's when we put any updates regarding things like that. Because as soon as we hear anything, we'll obviously put it out to the community. All right. So I hope that helps. Shane. Let's have a little look. What are we going next May? What's the day-night temps? Shane, I presume you're going to. I'm just trying to think now. Where's Shane going, Dave?
I think he's going to EBC.
Or Kili?
I think Shane's going to EBC. I used to be able to know everyone's name and trip by memory, but I believe I know. In fact, hang on a sec.
I was going to say, bring this thing up.
Have a little think really quickly here about where Shane might be going, and base camp actually. And yeah, so you're going in May. To be honest, May's a funny one because you head in spring during the day, particularly in the early parts of the trip. It's going to be warm. It might even be shorts and t-shirt weather. Yeah. Every night in the Himalaya gets cold, and it is very changeable. So it's very hard for me to give you like this is this temperature, this is what you can expect. What I will say is that EBC in May is not going to be epically cold. You know, you can expect it to be relatively mild during the day to quite warm, and you can expect it to be relatively mild to quite cold in the evenings. Last time I was there in May last year, it wasn't that cold, I don't think, really. I think we had a couple of days where the down jacket was required, but you certainly don't need like a super heavy fill, really expensive down jacket. You just need a pretty good jacket to be able to, you know, like the one that we can provide, this one, or like the one Andy has mentioned previously, the Patagonia, again. Yeah.
This one? It's a great jacket. I always want to put it on now. It's so nice.
Yeah, you see, Chris, I'm glad you noticed, mate. You can't teach this. This level of smoothness and delivery is something that, you know, it comes natural to me.
No, it's great. It's always the same, isn't it? I know we got some questions. We normally would get, I know our social Yeti, Lauren, is on here with the questions, but I say she's off today. So we're trying to pick up your comments, but we will, any ones we haven't answered, we will come back and obviously answer them. Because I had a couple of questions at the top there, and I was about to bring them in, and now they disappeared because I can't actually view them. So sorry about that. We will get back in there. But Dave, yeah, jackets. I know we've covered off pretty much everything, haven't we? Is there anything else around down jackets then that would be?
The only thing I did want to say is that the jackets that we do provide is on our Nepalese trips. So yeah, at the moment we can only provide the equipment in Nepal because we've got a long relationship with those guys, and it takes time to be able to produce them for you in a quality that we would consider EverTrek quality. It's definitely something that we are going to be pushing on all of our trips. So in Machu Picchu, in Peru, Tupac, Aconcagua in Argentina, Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, all of those places we're going to be looking to provide the same level of service. So stay tuned on that. I know it's that's an Andy project. That's one.
I was going to say, it's pretty much we've launched a lot of new trips in the last 6 months, and Dave's right. We are when it comes to these sort of things, the jackets. I mean, first things first is getting the trips ready. EverTrekified, if you like, ready for you guys to go on, which is great. We've done that. The sort of added bonuses like these jackets, it's something we're definitely going to be able to roll out on all of our trips. So yeah, we will keep you informed on that. Shane, I know you've asked about the cost of the jackets. With regards to the down sweater hoodie, again, you're looking at about £180 for that one. The one that Dave's got in there.
This is £2,000, Shane. If you make your payment out to Dave, the painted, no. So basically, this is a free rental. So this jacket here, if you went to Nepal and you selected to use one of our jackets, you can do that via your members area. One of these will be given to you by the team in Nepal, and it's yours for use during the trip. We have had some talk about you guys being able to retain it after the trip. I'll have to update you on that and find out where you are. It all depends on how much stock we have, because we can't afford to sell them all. Because if we in April, May's customers might have something to say about it. But we're definitely looking to do that, because one thing we do like and we love is that each one of you guys on here and everyone else that's not watching is all part of the EverTrekker community. You're almost like an extended family. I get more messages from Facebook than EverTrekkers than I do my family, actually. And we love the fact that you guys are proud to wear the EverTrekker name on the jackets and fleeces and stuff like that. And it's amazing. So we have got things like hats, patches, jackets, all sorts of stuff. But it's about getting down and getting everything ready. And like Andy said earlier, the online store, which I'm super excited about because I am
not far away. Honestly, it's been percolating in the background for probably in more or less 6 to 9 months. But again, with the developments of the membership area, that's definitely taken priority because that's where you manage your bookings, manage your trips. The little Brucey bonus of the jackets will be far away. There'll be a lot of gear. Everything you pretty much need for a trip will soon be available to buy off us through your members area. So definitely, and Dave Town, I know you've been on the live. You probably watched since the beginning, I think, because you're one of the first on. So thanks for joining us again, mate. I believe we answered it earlier, but I think it was Mika who was on the live about the jacket. Is that jacket good enough for Island Peak? No, it's with these are Base Camp and Kili, the ones you can hire off us from. The ones you can buy, but we do have ones that are available to hire that are good for Island Peak in Nepal. But they're not branded. They're just for use for Island Peak, but they're not branded yet. But yeah, probably gives us a reason to make some branded ones, Dave.
For
Island Peak.
I think North Face Summit Series. Stuff like that, the higher end, bigger fill, really mega warm jackets are the ones that to be honest, the best thing you can possibly do, because 6,000 meter peaks now are becoming more of an actual staple of the trekking and mountaineering community. That it used to be that you had trekking clothes and you had like extreme mountaineering clothes. Well, now there's that little niche of 6,000 meter peaks. If you Google best jacket for 6,000 meter peaks, I know that's me maybe teaching you to suck eggs. Weirdly, right? Google just heard that and it popped up.
It's always
you'll find some really good makes and models that have been designed specifically for that purpose, and boots and things like that. A lot of them might be a bit overkill because they include things like Ama de Blam and technical clothing. The trekking peaks and stuff, you don't need particularly technical. You just need it to be warm. So yeah, have a look. And if any of you, by the way, find something interesting, or you want my opinion on it, or you want to ask me a question about it, drop me a message. It's my favorite subject.
Yeah, I was going to say you have enjoyed the equipment talks we've done. That's why I usually I'm like, right, I just get set you off the lead because you are equipped. When it comes to equipment, you're the man. Stuff.
I'm an early bankrupt man.
Jerome just asked as well in terms of catalogue, and thanks, mate. Cheers, Jerome. Thanks for being part of the community. I know you joined on loads of the lives. Well, as always, instead of having like a catalogue, what we do is it's going to be on your members area. So you're booked in, you'll be able to go into your members area, you'll be able to click on, basically the equipment store, and it'll all be there online for you. So we always try and limit the things we kind of send out in the post, if you like. There will be some sort of breakdown for you. So yeah, definitely. So you can say, like if it was Everest Base Camp, you click on that, and that's all the equipment you need for Everest Base Camp. All right. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, guys. Right, Dave. Yeah, I can't believe it's been an hour already. Done well.
Is that all?
That's been great. It's been great. But yeah, thanks for joining us today. Another Tuesday tune in. We'll be back next week on Tuesday. But in the interim, as we mentioned earlier, on Thursday, the next episode of Mountain Malarkey podcast is out. So definitely look out for that. Get yourself into the Kilimanjaro competition if you haven't yet. I know, Dave, you put the link earlier. And yeah, if we haven't answered your questions, we'll come back through the questions now and just reply. But yeah, thanks for joining us again, guys. Dave, as always, mate, I'm a bit jealous. You're in the office.
Yes, mate. Yeah, we're starting phase office work back in. Yes, it's a bit lonely, but that's okay. One thing is, if you guys have any subjects or topics that you want to be the focus of one of these Tuesday tune-ins, then drop us an email. You can email it to info@evertrek.co.uk. If there's a specific subject you want us to mine into, we'd be more than happy to do that. So yeah, drop us a line, help us out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great stuff. All right, cheers, Dave. Thanks, everyone, and catch up with you soon.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.